Hey YouTube, your girl is back. Your girl is back with another YouTube video. All right, you guys. So today your girl is back, honey. Yes, for the consistency, first and foremost, honey. Yes, for the consistency. But your girl Not Auntie J is back, honey. I am back with another video, and today we are going to catch up with the Mommianas. Now, once again, as usual, honey, let me get to a okay, there we go. I'm in a better reception place. But today we're going to talk about the Mommianas, y'all. Now, I know that normally I cover just, the same people on my channel, but sometimes I venture out and I talk about other people. So if you are listening to my beautiful voice and you want to hear what we're talking about today, and if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on so that way you will be notified every single time I post. And we're going to get into it, honey. We are going to get into it. Like I said, if you are not able to catch this right now live with me, it's totally okay. This video will be available for replay. So if you're a part of the replay game, no worries. It will be here for you, honey. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see here. I don't have that many people in here yet, but I don't want to keep y'all long. Good evening, Shauna's Place. Good evening. I subscribe to your channel, honey. Good evening. But yes, so today, child, with the Mommianas, honey, it went down. It went down. Hey, CC's Life. Hey, Rita Williams. Thank y'all for joining. But it went down with my girl, Strongmommy, Chrissy, and Jazzy again. And I'm just like, Lord, fix it. Fix it, Jesus. So, like I said, I have in the past talked about both Jazzy and Chrissy and their friendship on my page before. So before I even start giving my opinion on all the shenanigans that went down this weekend with those two, honey, you're welcome, Shauna's. Everybody go check out Shauna's place. She is vlogging, honey, so go check her out. But girl, Shauna, honey, I'm gonna tell you what happened, child. It went down. So as you all know, I don't know if you all remember, but Jazzy and Chrissy, given the background, they have an estranged friendship. Okay, they were once a part of the Mommiana gang. They were once best buddies, and they fell out. If you didn't know what happened with all that, it was a big mess. Long story short, Jazzy reached out to Chrissy to collab. Jazzy and Chrissy became friends. They also linked up with other mummies on YouTube, which is Ming and Olivia. They went on a beautiful trip together. It got messy. Liv blasted everybody on the trip and told lies on everybody. Jazzy and Chrissy still remain friends after that, even though Jazzy was still hanging with Liv and everybody had kind of wrote Liv off. And over time, it just seems like it became hard for Chrissy and Jazzy to maintain a friendship for whatever reason that we're going to talk a little bit about today. And so their friendship dissolved over a year ago. And since then, there has been a little bit of back and forth. There have been times where people have accused Jazzy of being shady towards Chrissy. There have been times where people have accused Chrissy of being shady towards Jazzy. But we're going to talk about what happened this weekend. Okay, because there has been a lot going on with these two and their friendship. So, everyone knows that Jazzy and her man Chris, they did a live, and a lot of people ain't too fond of Jazzy's man. Let's just start by saying that, because I know a lot of you all who follow me probably don't keep up with the mummies like that. So I'm gonna give the background, and I'm gonna get into my opinion. So Jazzy went live and she did a Q&A with her man. And a lot of people, had some criticism for Jazzy. Now, as you all know, baby, they criticize Jazzy for everything, okay? And in my opinion, while I do feel like, some of the things about, her relationship may seem a little iffy and it may spark some public conversation, I'm sorry. In my opinion, Jazzy gets a lot of flack, she gets a lot of heat, and she gets a lot of criticism. And sometimes it be kind of ridiculous. I mean, people be talking about her kids and everything. So, I do tune in and I do like some channels that do commentary on her, but I don't indulge in much of it because I just can't sit back and hear people talking about kids and calling kids slow and all of that. That ain't my thing. So when it comes to the Jazzy commentary, it be a lot. A lot of people ride Jasmine for a lot of things. But I will say that, it does seem to be the relationship that she's in with her new baby daddy, Chris. It seems a little iffy, so I understand why people would want to talk. So she did a Q&A with her baby daddy, and people had something to say about it. Like, they have something to say about everything that she does. One particular channel that talks about Jazzy all the time, is Sofa Time Talk with Kels. Now, me personally, I've heard some of Sofa's. I've heard some of her commentary on Jazzy before, and I don't really watch her commentary about Jazzy, but I do like some commentary that she's done about some other things. Like I said, it's just the commentary about Jazzy to me, it gets to be a lot, because people do go hard on Jazzy. So, she was doing the commentary on Jazzy, and she is one of the channels that used to drag both Jazzy and Chrissy. She used to drag both of them. She used to read them for filth. She also drags Liv as well. So she used to drag their whole crew, right? She used to talk about their whole crew. She used to give it to them. And so at one point in time, when Jazzy and Chrissy were still friends, they both didn't like this reaction channel. However, this reaction channel, took a liking to Chrissy and acknowledged Chrissy's growth and gave Chrissy her flowers at one point. And so after Chrissy and Jazzy kind of parted ways, Chrissy and this reaction channel, clearly are friendly and acquaintance and like each other or whatever. And I'll give my thoughts on that as well. And so this reaction channel talks about Jazzy a whole lot. And Chrissy just happened to be in the chat that day when they were criticizing Jazzy video about her and her man. They was going in on her man, and dogging him out. And Chrissy peeped into the chat, and she decided that she would come in and be like, child, I'm going to mind my single business. And that really ticked Jazzy off. So Jazzy then, she, reposted it, and she was like, look, somebody sent this to me, even though I'm pretty sure she was watching. But she reposted it. She said somebody sent it to her. And she was just pretty much like, Chrissy, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you watching me? Why are you worried about me? You can tell you're miserable, blah, 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 blah. She basically told Chrissy to shut the F up. And baby, why did she do that? Now, y'all remember last time Jazzy told Chrissy that she was praying for her after rumors came out that Chrissy man had beat on her or whatever. Chrissy went off on Jasmine. So I guess Chrissy don't want Jasmine to pray for her, and she damn sure don't want her to tell her to shut the fuck up. So Chrissy took Jasmine telling her to shut the fuck up as she took it as Jasmine was trying to be funny and threaten her, like, girl, you better shut that up before I air you out. Because in the past, Jasmine had told some information about what she had gossiped about Chrissy to Olivia, which nobody don't like Olivia, and Olivia had put that information out. So I guess Chrissy felt as if Jasmine telling her to shut the F up was Jasmine threatening her to expose some information on her. And so Chrissy she went live, and she went on in on Jasmine. She pretty much told Jasmine that, baby, you used to be a fan. You ain't on my level. She pretty much said, I stopped being your friend because of your nigga. I didn't like your man. That's why me and you're not friends. And Chrissy's pretty much saying that she was not trying to be shady by commenting on that live in that chat. She was just simply stopping through the chat and, I guess, supporting someone who she's newly friends with or whatever. And, she's pretty much just saying that if Jasmine were to ever try to expose her or spill her tea, baby, they will go down together, because she knows some things on Jasmine. If she get to exposing Jasmine, all hell will break loose. And Chrissy says she ain't scared for her business to be exposed. She will expose it herself, and then she will turn around and expose Jasmine. And y'all bear with me, honey. I'm just giving the background that I'm gonna get into my opinion. So Jasmine then responded, and she said that she was just simply telling Chrissy to shut the F up. She wasn't trying to expose Chrissy. She've already texted Chrissy before after they fell out, and Chrissy ain't about shit. That's what Jasmine was saying. And she pretty much was like, why you over here talking about my man? Your man wouldn't there neither. And she pretty much just said that she feels like Chrissy is trying to get reactors to like her so that they won't talk about her. And she feels like Chrissy is fake because the same reactor that Chrissy is now showing support to both drugged them. Jasmine said that she was a good friend to Chrissy. She was always defending Chrissy, and Chrissy was letting her moderators drag her, and she felt like Chrissy was a terrible friend. And so that's the bulk of it. That's the bulk of the background of what happened. And so here's what I think. Here's what I think. In this isolated situation, while I still do like Chrissy, and I'll tell you a little bit, and I'm gonna get into my theory of what I think is going on. But in this one isolated incident, and I know people are gonna be like, "What?" I feel what Jazzy is coming from on this one. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people have taken a liking to Strong Mommy Chrissy, including myself. I've been liking Strong Mommy Chrissy before she, quote unquote, glue up. Before she turned her life around, I liked her from the beginning. I liked her when she was sitting in that car crying, what about the man leaving her. I liked the Strong Mommy Chrissy when she got evicted. I liked it her before the quote unquote glow up that she has now had. I've always felt like Chrissy was she was what she is, a strong mother, and I always felt like she was a queen of bouncing back, and that's what I liked about her. And I never felt like she deserved a lot of the dragging that she got in these YouTube streets. So don't get me wrong, I still like Chrissy, but like I said, in this instance, baby, Chrissy was being petty. Okay, like I said, a lot of people have taken a liking to Chrissy because they feel like she has evolved. They feel like, she's not as messy as she used to be. She doesn't, display much. She doesn't get dragged a lot because she pretty much keeps YouTube out of her business. Okay. She has mastered the art of whatever she got going on. YouTube really ain't gonna never know too much about it because she know how to stay off the camera. And so a lot of people have taken a liking to her because they feel like she is growing and she's evolving. And so a lot of reaction channels have backed off of the Chrissy commentary because they feel like, she is doing better. They feel like out of all the moms, she's really glowing up. She's really doing her thing. She provides interesting content when she does come on here. She's really good at her editing. She's really good at her video ideas. And so people just take a better liking to Chrissy because Chrissy does a good job at keeping her personal life personal versus kind of coming on here with the hot mess with the drama that other moms do. She kind of has mastered the art of keeping her shit off the internet. And so a lot of people have taken a liking to her, and a lot of people have now, really have been Team Chrissy, and a lot of people don't like Jasmine. So I feel like people were happy and rooting and waiting for that friendship to end. And when that friendship did end, like the internet wanted, I think a lot of people praised Chris and a lot of people took a liking to her because she ended that friendship because people just don't like Jasmine. Okay. So with that being said, I feel like it's a little bit of bias and hypocrisy going on because if you are someone who is trying to elevate and you are so above, like Chrissy said that she above, right? She say she above Jasmine. She say she's on a whole nother level, this, that, and the third. If you are someone who is truly above and and Chrissy gives, I don't got time, I'm getting my life together. She's trying to give unproblematic vibes. If you know that this is a channel that drags Jasmine, if you know the main topic on this channel is always Jasmine, even if this is someone that you support, and you know the particular video that you are commenting up under is throwing shade or dragging Jasmine's relationship, then you commenting on that is shady. Because you didn't come in and say, "Hey girl, just stopping through, just catching the replay," or not catching the replay, but "Hey girl, just stopping through, just supporting the chat. Y'all have a good day." You didn't say that. You said, "I'm gonna mind my single business." And while the comment does not seem that harmful, it seems as if you were deliberately commenting to be messy because that everybody always compares you to Chrissy. You know that everybody on this particular chat that you are participating in can't stand Jasmine. You know that on this channel they drag Jasmine filth. They talk about her. They talk about her kids. They go in on her. And you know this particular video was about Jasmine. And you know that you are one of the main characters that had problems with Jasmine in the past. And people already and got the gasoline draws on, ready to see y'all get into it. So you know, if you comment under this video, what that's going to do and the type of attention that's going to bring. Because this channel does other commentary on other people, and you're not present then. So how are you conveniently present when the subject is dragging Jasmine and her man? And the reason why you and Jasmine fell out is because you didn't like her man. So I'm sorry, at the end of the day, like I said, I still like Chrissy. But in this situation, Chrissy was being messy. Okay. And if Chrissy would have came out and said, look, last year, I felt like Jasmine was being messy by gossiping with me when my relationships, well, gossiping about me when my relationship problems came to the forefront. When they said my man was, abusing me or whatever, she was front and center trying to be funny. So now that everybody dragging her and her man, it's my turn to be petty. If Kristen would have came out and said that, then boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd been like, all right, there you go. I wouldn't have been mad at it. But Shauna's, I agree with everything you said. Thank you, Shauna's. But yeah, so if Chris would have just came out and said, like, look, yeah, I was being petty, because get what, when they was talking about me and my man, yeah, Jasmine was being petty. So now it's my turn. If she would have said that, then cool, I wouldn't even have anything to say about it. But the fact that Chris is trying to play it like, girl, you're beneath me. Girl, no, I would never. Like, girl, come on. At the end of the day, I just feel like Jasmine and Chrissy are both hurt by their friendship ending. And I feel like a lot of time, and I feel like a lot of people are giving Jasmine slack right now, and they're really criticizing her and going in on her for coming after Chrissy. But people have to understand, people are human. You get what I'm saying? Hey, the MD Jones one. The MD Jones says, I understand what you're saying, but Chrissy never told Jazzy personal business. Jazzy was never Chrissy's friend, because if she was, then she wouldn't have done that to her. Well, here is the thing about that. I'm not saying that Jasmine was a good friend to Chrissy. And I'm not saying that Chrissy was a good friend to Jasmine, because I feel like they both did things to each other that were shady for them to supposedly be friends. Now, I definitely don't agree with what Jasmine did, running telling Olivia Chrissy business. That was definitely flawed. That was a flaw move. I don't agree with that. But what I'm talking about is in this particular situation, not the friendship in general, but in this particular situation, Chrissy was not right. If you are someone who is supposed to be evolving and you're supposed to be above the bullshit and you supposed to be so better than Jasmine, and if you ain't checking for Jasmine like you saying, then you wouldn't be under a chat that's about her commenting, because you don't comment on anything else. If you always comment on this channel and you always support this channel and show your love in the chat, that's one thing. But like I said, I feel like Chrissy is hurt by how Jasmine betrayed her, and she just needs to admit that, and everything will be okay. But trying to kind of play the I'm unbothered card when you really are bothered, that is where I gotta call Chrissy out. Like I said, I still like Chrissy though. I still like Chrissy, and I do feel like Jasmine went wrong in the friendship. First of all, Jasmine, when she kept being friends with Olivia, I didn't like that, because Olivia blasted all of them. And so I felt like there were going to be problems with the friendship, because how can you continue to be friends with someone who said that all of you all did drugs together? So, it's no secret that Jasmine probably had some problems in the friendship area. However, let's not forget now that when Christy and Jasmine got into it last, Ming also came to the forefront and kind of put some of Jazzy's business out. And Jazzy and Ming are not friends. So just like Jasmine was probably telling Olivia some of Chrissy's business, Chrissy was telling Ming some of Jasmine's business. So I just feel like a lot of times people give Chrissy a lot of credit over Jasmine as if she's better than Jasmine. And while I do feel like Chrissy does do certain things in a better way, and I feel like Chrissy presents herself on social media in a better way, and she's smarter with how she moves than Jasmine, I think that she still is a human, and she still is one of the same, and she still has the potential to be petty. She ain't no saint. Hey, Guyanese. Hey, hey, hey. The MD Jones says true. We all fall short, and I feel like she was hurt by how low Jazz is going. True, and if she would have just came out and said that, then that would have been fine with me. I feel like if Chris would have said, I'm gonna take every chance I can to be petty with Jasmine because I don't appreciate how she did me last year when she told Olivia what she told Olivia. And if y'all don't remember what she told Olivia, it was something very serious that is hopefully it's not true, but it was something related to it's sexually transmitted disease or whatever, and it just wasn't right. So I can get Chrissy's bitterness, but I'm just gonna need for her to say that, and I'm gonna need for people to stop acting like she ain't, that was a little petty move. But I still love her, but that was a little petty move. I'm just saying. God needs, I agree with you. Right. And the thing about it is, the reason why I'm able to see this from Jasmine's side, because I feel like if the roles were reversed, and if this were Jasmine doing this to Chrissy, oh baby, everybody would have had a fit. Everybody would have had a fit. It would have been over with. You know what I'm saying? Jazz said she did not tell Liv anything. They were all on a group chat. Okay, and I can believe that because this is the thing. I don't know Jasmine personally, and but I don't see Jasmine going that low. We all know that Liv is gonna go for the juggler. Okay, Liv is the same one that went live and said all of them was doing the I'm in love with the Coco. She the one who said that they was doing that, and that's kind of far fetched to believe. So I think that Jazzy and Chrissy should have had a conversation. Because just because Liv said that does not mean that Jasmine told her that. And honestly, I feel like Jasmine is always been kind of like the more soft-spoken, weaker one out of the friendship group. And so I just don't see her being that malicious. You get what I'm saying? Yes, do I think she was talking shit about Chrissy? And do I think she probably told Liv some of Chrissy T just inventing? Of course. But the whole, STD, whatever, that rumor, I think that was something that Liv just came up with to throw some extra razzle dazzle on there. That's how I feel about the whole situation. Like I said, I don't follow the mommies religiously because a lot of times when people do reaction videos on them and things of that nature, they talk about them, they get talking about the kids and stuff, and I just don't, that type of stuff I don't like to hear. But I will say that I feel like Chrissy just needs to admit that she is hurt by, the ending of the friendship. And Jasmine is obviously hurt. I would say she needs to admit it, but she definitely is hurt. And I think she just needs to come out and she needs to say that because, in when before they end up being friends, I would kind of see people in hey first baby mama. But yeah, I would see people in Chris's chat kind of being shady with Jasmine, and Chrissy really never checked that. And I really feel like Chrissy been over Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly feel like she um yes, Guyanese, definitely. I was just about to say that. And I feel like all of the supporters in her ear about Jasmine, and when Jasmine got that new man, and all of the supporters in her ear about the new man, and then Chrissy probably met the man in real life and he wasn't all that. I think that was just her excuse to let Jasmine go because she was already not feeling Jasmine when Jasmine kept befriending Liv. And I feel like, a lot of people had a bad taste in their mouth for Chrissy for a long time. And it just seems like a lot of people didn't change their tune until she stopped being friends with Jasmine. Because if you really want to be real, if you really want to keep it all the way 100, Chrissy ain't never really been that bad. I mean, yeah, she got 9 children, and yeah, she had the eviction and all that type of stuff. But honestly and truly, she's always been the bounce back queen. She's always evolved. She's always been able to take accountability and say, look, this is where I messed up. That's why I said I've always liked the Chrissy from the beginning. I've always felt like out of the mommy group, she was one of the stronger characters. So I feel like people didn't want to start giving her kudos, or people didn't want to start kind of, rocking with her until she dropped Jasmine because that's what they were wanting her to do. I feel like if Chrissy was still rocking with Jasmine, still hanging with Jasmine, people would still have something negative to say because people just don't like Jasmine for whatever reason. And so I feel like social media definitely got in between their friendship, and it did its thing. And people continuously put them against each other because Every time Jazz got something going on with her man, everybody over there, like, they would throw it, even when Chrissy got engaged, they were throwing that in Jasmine's face. They were like, look what Chrissy man did, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And they were just really like, always trying to compare Jasmine to Chrissy and throw in Jasmine's face how Chrissy would never, you know what I'm saying? That gets annoying. And so especially when we find out on down the road that Chrissy man went all the way right either. So when Chrissy says, well, she stopped being friends with Jasmine because of Jasmine's ninja, I was like, well, to me, that's bullshit. Because just say you didn't like, because this is the thing. I don't understand how, and I was watching TMR video earlier because that's how I caught up on everything. And TMR made a very good point. The same way Chrissy had to take her time and understand that her man, when what it wasn't given what it was supposed to give, and she had to take her time and learn her lesson on her own and leave her man. Jasmine has to do the same thing. So it's not fair. True. And first, my mama said they so even. Yeah, they are. It's not. It's to me. It wouldn't be fair for you to say, "Well, I'm ending your friendship with you because I told you deserve better." But Chrissy, you had problems in your relationship as well. And even though I feel like people do, sometimes take too far with Chrissy, like when they was leaking her address and all that. I didn't like that, and I stood up for her then. Chrissy, there have been rumors out here that your man was abusive. And let's just be fair here. Those type of allegations have came out about Jasmine's man yet. And hopefully they don't. Not saying they will. So with that being said, you obviously were going through things behind the camera as well that obviously Jasmine knew about. 1 second, child. But yeah, you obviously were going through things behind the camera that Jasmine probably knew about, and you had your fair share of chaos. So is it really fair for you to say that you stopped being her friend because of her man? But on the low, you had a man, and it was, and we don't know. Even though Chrissy, if anybody didn't know, Chris is now single. She's no longer engaged, and she said it had nothing to do with those abuse rumors. But there was an arrest. You know what I'm saying? And and not that Chrissy has to expose what happened, but I just don't see how she could say, I don't want to be friends with Jasmine because of her man, but you didn't have the good a stand-up guy either over there. You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like that was just an excuse for her to be like, I'm just tired of you, Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? Because like she said, Jasmine was a fan. You already looked at her like a fan. You probably thought that you were above her, and you probably just were looking for a reason to not rock with her. Because to me, that's just that's just not a good reason to stop being somebody's friend. Because how much can Jasmine man affect y'all friendship? I mean, it's not like y'all can hang out every day. You got 9 kids, she got 5 kids. I think she got 5 now. It's not like you got to deal with her man on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like y'all are in high school and you want to go over to her house and lay around and you can't because her man over there. It's not the type of situation. You all were two grown women with 2 separate households. So it's not like y'all can just kick it on a daily anyway. So I'm not buying the I didn't like her man, because that's a bogus reason to stop being somebody's friend. In my opinion. That's just my opinion. Especially when you didn't have the best of a man over there either. You know what I'm saying? First, like Mama said, we all got to make mistakes. We all got to make our mistakes in life, right? And that's why I'm like, people are really going in on Jasmine for responding to Chrissy, but I mean, if you and somebody had a real friendship outside of YouTube, this person, y'all done broke bread with each other, y'all done let each other borrow money, all that, and they go befriend a reaction channel that was dragging both of y'all and had you crying, girl, I would feel some type of way too. Like people, because at the end of the day, now in this reaction channel's defense, this reaction channel did give Chrissy her flowers and give her props. But honestly, and this is not trying to be shady, but I just feel like that was done to just a slight Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So that's why I feel like Chrissy thinks she's above Jazz. That's what it's giving, and and like I said, while Chrissy, I feel like I do commend her because she knows how to clean it up for the internet, and I have seen her take accountability. One thing I can say about Chrissy, she don't let the hot mess continue. When she got something going on in her life that's a hot mess, she nip it into the bud real fast. I will say that about her. However, she still has just the same amount of chaos and poor decision making um that Jasmine has. So I don't understand how people are acting as if she could do no wrong when what she did when that wasn't right. And we can say that even though she's the favorite because of how she presents herself on social media. We can't she ain't above doing it the wrong. She can be wrong. In this situation, she was not right. Shauna's place say why people think that being a fan is a bad thing. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's the people that are your fans or the people that's a role with you from the beginning are the people that matter. Because if it wasn't for people like Jasmine who really believed in you and who supported your journey with having that many children and who really rocked with you, your channel wouldn't be as big as it is. So at the end of the day, for her to be like, you were a fan and this and the third, but you befriended her. So obviously you all had something in common to where you let her into your personal life. Because if you were so above her, you would not have let her get that close to you. Yeah, yes, and Jazz really rolled for Chrissy. She did. Like people acting like Jasmine just was this evil person who had it out for Chrissy. No, everybody over in Chrissy's chat used to always shade Jasmine. They used to always say that, oh, Jasmine trying to be like you, Chrissy. Oh, why you hanging with Jasmine? Oh, this. And we really never saw Chrissy defend Jasmine. And like I said, I really felt like Chrissy was pissed off with Jasmine because Jasmine continued to be friends with Olivia. And instead of her just cutting the friendship off right then, she continued to be friends with Jasmine, knowing damn well she really didn't like Jasmine. And another thing is, I want to know what type of damn tea. What type of tea does Jasmine have on Chrissy? Or what type of tea does Chrissy have on Jazz? Because honestly and truly, it gives an undertone of we done did some dirt together, so I'm scared for us to fall out. Because I mean, that's what it was giving back then, and now it's giving. Well, we keep falling out, so I'm gonna go ahead and expose this dirt because it's gonna come out anyway. What the hell did y'all do? You know, because it's seeming like I'm holding on to this friendship because I don't let you in too much. You know what I'm saying? And and I don't know. It's just weird. It says, but you can't tell someone who to be friends with, right? And it's like with Chrissy, it was just, it. But the thing about it was, she should have been honest with Jasmine. If Chrissy was upset with Jasmine for still befriending Liv, even though I don't see how Jasmine could have been friends with Liv because Liv accused all of them of doing drugs. And baby, if you say that all of us did drugs, even if we did do some drugs, baby, if you get on the internet and you argue with somebody else and you pull me in it and said that I was doing drugs and I'm not the person you arguing with, baby, you ain't got to worry about me no more anyway. But you're right. I just feel like she should have talked to Jasmine about that and they should have gotten past it. I feel like she was still being her friend after that, but it was with the undertone of, well, I don't let her in now. She know too much now, so let me be her friend. Like it's giving something's going on with that. Mahogany Shanae says, I don't think Chrissy feels like she's above Jazz. And Chrissy said out her mouth, don't be like her, like a learning lesson she was talking about. Yes, that is true, Mahogany. I did hear her say that. And I do feel like Chrissy wanted the best for Jasmine. But when you stop being someone's friend because of their man, when you don't have the best man in your bed either, it is giving something. And I don't know if she thought she was better than Jasmine. I just think that she was over Jasmine. And her referring to Jasmine as a fan, even after they had a well long lasting friendship after Jasmine originally was a supporter, I just feel like it's giving like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? You ever came across someone and it's kind of like you're their friend, but everything you do get on their nerves? And it's kind of like that's the vibes that I get when back then when it came to Chrissy and Jazz. It was kind of like, yeah, Yeah, Jazz my friend, but she get on my damn nerves. You know what I'm saying? And so that can come across as if Chrissy thinks she's better than Jasmine. Because I mean, when you think about it, how the hell you gonna stop being somebody's friend because of their man, but your man went all the way right either. Your man was getting locked up too. You know? And like I said, I still like Chrissy, but in this situation, she went right. You know, she was not right. And a lot of people are giving Jasmine a lot of flag. I even heard somebody be like, "How dare Jasmine say anything?" It's like, bitch, you talking about me. Of course, I can say something if I want to say something. You know, it's like people want Jasmine to have this shut up and take it, you know, type of attitude. Like they want her to sit back, and then when she sounds like, "Ooh, Jasmine is daring to say something," it's like that's some bullying shit. Like if that were Chrissy, the same way Chrissy clapped back when Olivia said that ring she had was fake. Jasmine can clap back if she feel like Chrissy being shady. It's all one and the same. Mahogany says, I think they both are hurt and miss each other's friendship. They were close, they knew each other's business. Right. And that's what I think. I think that you can also see that Jasmine is hurt. But I think that Chrissy also is hurt as well, but she doesn't want to admit that. If she would just admit that, then it would be okay. But to come and act like you just were just innocently commenting on a shady conversation that has something to do with Jasmine, it's like, girl, we ain't buying it. We love you, Chrissy. But we ain't buying that one. I'm sorry. The MD Jones one says, before Chrissy, Jazzy tried to get close with Ming. Then she reached out to Chrissy. Jazzy barely wanted to work. Jazzy didn't have a good relationship with her family because of Philip in her older videos. And that may be true, but that doesn't have anything to do with what transpired the other day. So I get what you're saying. Jasmine probably was just desperate to have somebody to eat off, I guess, eat off their coattail. But either way it went, Chrissy still decided to befriend Jasmine, and Chrissy obviously saw something in Jasmine, and they built a friendship. And Jasmine did ride for Chrissy. You know, Jazz used to be over there windmilling for Chrissy, and Chrissy used to just be letting her moderators talk shit about Jasmine, and we saw that. So at the end of the day, I just feel like, you know, Jasmine isn't more of the story. Jasmine is not a bad of a person as people are trying to make it seem. Because from what I observed, her and Chrissy both have opportunities. They both have areas of improvement. They both have things they've done that have not been so wise. It's just one person is better at cleaning it up for the internet, and the other person is still learning. And you have to think about it. Chrissy has a larger following with Jazz than Jazzy. Chrissy has been doing this. Obviously, she's been doing this. Well, I don't know if she's been doing it longer, but she's more skilled at this social media thing than Jazzy. And so it could, maybe it's just that, maybe, you know, it's that. Hold on 1 second. One moment, y'all. My computer hooked up to my thing. But yeah, maybe it's not that Chrissy is she just, because like I said, Chrissy has always been the bounce back queen. So maybe it's not that she's evolved, it's just maybe that we just see her less. You know what I'm saying? So people need to stop acting as if she has just completely changed her life around to the point where she can do no wrong, because she can still be wrong. She can. Yes, because it's all coming from a place of hurt. Yes, it's definitely coming from a place of hurt. And I just wish that Chrissy would just say, that's pretty much the moral of the story. I wish that Chrissy would just say that, you know, because acting like you unbothered, but commenting on a chat that is about your ex-friend, and the person who's hosting the chat is dragging the hell out your ex-friend. That's bothered bitch behavior. And it's okay if you have bothered bitch behavior. If you feel like, girl, I was your friend and you betrayed me, then cool. Because like I said, Jasmine is not all the way innocent. You know, like I said, because she, you know, last year her live was being shady when those rumors came out about whatever, you know, Chris and man getting arrested and all that. They had they shady moment too. And I said the same thing then. Jasmine should have just admitted that she was being shady when she was saying she gonna pray for Chrissy. So this is the same scenario. Chrissy needs to admit that she was being shady. Period. Guyanese says it's so sad to see. I wish they would make up. I really wish they would because I just feel like it was a big misunderstanding. I feel like Jasmine should most definitely, even though you can't tell nobody who to be friends with, and I know that maybe Olivia know Jasmine sees another side of Olivia, but I really feel like Jasmine should have really gravitated more towards Chrissy after that situation and really stood up for what was right. Because in that situation, Liv was dead ass wrong. You know, and I don't have nothing against Liv either because I don't watch her enough to hate her like everybody else does either. I think she's a beautiful woman, but Liv was definitely messy as hell, and she told it that friendship to pieces. And I think that instead of trying to be neutral and trying to still rock with Liv, I think that Jasmine should have done the right thing and stood up for what was right in the situation and checked Liv about the allegations that she made against all of them. Because to say, "Oh yeah, all of us did co together," that's not cool. That's not cool because now you're arguing with Chrissy, but you're saying that all of us did drugs. That's not cool. So I feel like Jasmine should have had more of a backbone in that situation. However, Chrissy continued to be her friend after that. So she should, if she was gonna let it go, she should have let it go instead of kind of holding secret resentment towards Jasmine, which I think that she did. Cece's likes to live as a mixed person. Yeah, it appears. It definitely appears. Guyanese says Jazz feel like Chrissy was talking about her with me. Right, because someone said earlier, like, but Chrissy talked about Jazz. I mean, Jazz talked about Chrissy with Olivia, but no, as we can remember, Ming also knew some of Jasmine business. So, Jasmine could have felt like Chrissy was talking about her with Ming because Ming never really was here for Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? And the minute that Jasmine and Chrissy, had they got into it, Mean came out with her 1, 2, and something to say. So it's kind of a similar situation. Like a lot of people get upset when Liv jumps into the mess with Jazzy and Chrissy, but there have been situations where Mean jumped into it when it was Jazzy and Chrissy. So I think there's just a lot of hypocrisy going on because if everybody know, if there was a chat, we saw it play out last year when everybody was saying something about strong woman Chrissy supposedly, getting assaulted about her man. And when Jasmine said she gonna pray for Chrissy, everybody jumped down her throat, followed her, all type of stuff because they felt like she was being shady. Now that Chrissy is pretty much doing the same thing, she, she sees some smoke in the air with Jasmine and her man and some red flags. And she pretty much jumped in saying, ooh, you know what I'm saying? She's pretty much being shady. Now everyone's like, no, that was just an innocent comment. No, it's the same shit. It's the same thing, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they both were taking digs. Back then, when Jazzy said that she was praying for Christmas, she was being shady. And yes, well, whenever that was, when Chrissy said that she minded her single business, it was shady. And we just need to call a spade a spade. Stop trying to pacify Chrissy. We like Chrissy. Chrissy is definitely evolved, you know what I'm saying? But Chrissy ain't perfect, period. It says Mean was talking about Jasmine business first, and that's what set off. Oh, see, I didn't know that. I knew it was something. I knew it was something because I saw, everyone kind of kept saying like, "Oh, Kirsten don't really F with Jazz," and people were really like making it seem like Jazz was like kind of almost stalking Chrissy or just begging to be her friend, and something happened and they stopped being friends. So, like I said, to me, in my opinion, I feel like Chrissy was not being the best friend to Jasmine back then because I don't give a damn. It's bogus as hell to stop being. I'ma say it over and over again. It is bogus as hell to stop being somebody's friend because you don't like their man when your man went all the way right either. She very well could have stopped being your friend when you know what I'm saying when you were making the poor decisions with men because let's just be honest, you guys. Chrissy Rod was not the first guy that Chrissy had was in a relationship with or whatever after she her and her husband split. There was other men that she had brought around that wasn't right, and Jasmine was her friend through all of that. And Jasmine stood by your side, and she continued to be your friend. And yes, Chrissy's thing is listen, I got 9 kids. I'm trying to tell you not to be like me. But how you gonna tell me not to be like you, but you're still actively doing making the worst decisions. Like if Chrissy was happily married to a stand-up guy who didn't have all these allegations going on and arrest records and all this, and he was a good man, and she's telling somebody, look, don't be like me. I've changed my life and here's the product of it. Then yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Then if your friend is not doing what you're telling her to do, or she's not moving how you want her to move, okay, then distance yourself. But if you got a no good ninja over here in your bed, how you gonna stop being friends for her supposedly having no good ninja in her bed? It ain't the math ain't mathing. It ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? The MD Jones says Ming stopped messing with Jasmine because she was still messing with Liv. Ming said she told Chrissy to stop messing with Jasmine, and she told Ming she was her friend. Yeah, no, I think that we saw that. Yes, Ming definitely went here for Jasmine, and I feel like Chrissy was not here for Jasmine, but for some reason she kept being Jasmine's friend, and I don't know what type of secrets or what type of sisterhood or what Jasmine and Chrissy had going on, but to me it felt like a forced friendship after that. You get what I'm saying? To me, I just feel like Chrissy was secretly not here for Jasmine. She didn't like Jasmine really anymore, but for some reason, she still kept being her friend. Because even when people would come to Chrissy's chat and drag the hell out of Jasmine, Chrissy wouldn't check it. She wouldn't address it. It was kind of like whatever. And, it wasn't the same, I'm a ride for you like her and Ming. It just wasn't the same vibes. That's just what I get from it. Guyanese says, I remember that guy took a picture of Chrissy's home. Jazz called him and asked him to stop leaving Chrissy alone. Right. When the man, what's his name? Was it Bam? When he was harassing Chrissy, Jasmine was fired up too. She was fired up and ready. So people want to act like Jasmine is just, oh, she was not. No, Jasmine was riding for Chrissy. Jasmine may have been a pushover and she may have let people walk all over her, but she was not a malicious person to Chrissy. To me, if you ask me, that friendship in it because Chrissy was already tired of her ass anyway. And when Jasmine got with this new man, people was already, they was ready to drag her and drag her. And she just hopped on the train with everybody else and said, girl, you done bye. To me, that's what happened. Yeah, bam. So yeah, that is what I feel. I feel like I don't get why everyone is dragging Jasmine for trying to defend herself. Y'all know she can defend herself, right? I mean, y'all sit back, y'all talk about her, y'all call her, y'all talk about she look like a man, y'all talk about her relationship, y'all even talk about her kids. I was listening to one chat because like I said, I jump in and out because sometimes, things happen with the mommy channels and you just may want to jump in and kind of catch up on what happened. But in the interim, you kind of catch the tail end of people criticizing the children. And Jasmine's child name is Legendary. And somebody in the chat was like, and baby ordinary. And I'm like, why would you, if the child's name is Legendary, like you're calling him ordinary as if he doesn't deserve to have the name Legendary. That's mean. That's mean as hell. And I don't give a damn how poor of a parent you think she is. Like, don't nobody deserve to have their kids drugged and talked about like that. You're trying to be shady to a baby. You know what I'm saying? People would love to say, well, she didn't call the baby ugly or she didn't say nothing, but like, why are you just say the baby's name? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you're, what I'm saying? They talk about her twins and they're like, she refuses to go get help for her twins. Have y'all saw any paperwork that says something is wrong with her kids? Why the hell are you all continuously trying to put the narrative that something is wrong with those children, even if you feel like from what you're watching something is wrong? As an adult, leave it alone, because you want people looking at your children and criticizing them and calling them slow. And it's like, I just don't get it. So to me, I just feel like people go in on her a lot. And it's like some stuff, okay, with her and her relationship, all right, whatever. Y'all got speculations about that, cool. But some shit just not cool. Yes, first thing, mama, leave Jazzy alone. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Yes, like people be going in, even in Chrissy's live when she was clapping back at Jasmine, she was like, "Well, at least I wasn't over there keying when they were talking about your kids. But I'm like, okay, even if this channel, did give you your props, did, what I'm saying, did, reach out to you and say that they supported you after they drove the hell out of you and had you crying. Even if you did forgive this channel and you're now a supporter of this channel, if you know that this channel is a channel where people frequently call in and talk about Jasmine and her kids and drag her for filth, and you're a mother as well, and you know that majority of the time they on here, talking about her kids, saying they slow, whatever, then I mean, why would you even want to show up in a chat and even have your name associated with something like that? You know what I'm saying? Because when it was being done to you, it wasn't fun. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I do feel like there have been times where Chrissy has received unfair scrutiny. I've defended Chrissy myself as well. But at the same time, I feel like, we can't be over here feeling sorry for you when you're getting harassed and when you're getting drugged and when you are getting talked about. But then you go and openly support channels and a chat that is doing the same thing to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because these channels, and not all of them, some of them do have respectful commentary about, the moms. And they keep it kind of light. They don't really get into talking about the kids and stuff. They kind of talk about the grown folks and keep it moving. But, some of that stuff they be saying over there is not cool. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they love talking about folks' kids. You know what I'm saying? They love doing that. Right. They are all doctors on here. It's too much. Exactly. Like, just put yourself in people's shoes. And that's the thing about the internet. Hey, Tanisha. Hey, happy Juneteenth, everyone. Oh, I forgot you guys. Happy Juneteenth, honey. But yes. Hey, TMR. Hey, girl. Yeah, shout out to TMR. This is where I caught up on everything at today. I caught up on it on my girl TMR channel. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for joining. All right. It says that's exactly what Jazz is saying. You supporting a react that drag them. Exactly. And so I feel where Jazzy is coming from. Like I said, has Jazzy always been perfect? Has she been the model citizen? Has she, what I'm saying? Has she not been shady towards Chrissy before? Yes, she's been shady towards Chrissy before. However, in this isolated situation, Chrissy knew what the hell she was doing. This was a channel that used to drag me and you. This was a channel that has had you in tears. So for you to convene, now if you're gonna forgive the person because the person reached out to you and gave you your flowers, okay, that's one thing. But if you were once someone who has been under public scrutiny, and if this was once a channel that drug you for filth and had you in tears, it's mighty convenient how you show up and show your support when the channel talking about me, but you claim you unbothered and you moving on and you evolving. Like I said, I love Chris to death. Don't get me wrong, but that was just shady. That was shady boots. It was shady boots. Because, even if this channel has given you your flowers, even if this channel has made it right and they don't talk about you anymore, at the end of the day, you are not too far removed from being drugged on the internet, and you once shared the same sentiments as Jazzy. You once mutually agreed with Jazzy that this channel was doing too much when it came to her and her kids. So with that being said, for you to be over here, commenting in the chat, and all eyes on you, because guess what? This channel used to talk about you all the time as well. So you're like a celebrity over there. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that just is what it is. And like I said, while I can understand why Chrissy would feel some type of way towards Jasmine, because there's a lot of hurt there. They both felt like each other betrayed each other. They both felt like they didn't handle the friendship right. I just don't understand trying to come out and act as if your hands are clean and you weren't being shady when you were, baby. You were. And there's something deeper with you, Jasmine, because I'm not buying the whole I ain't like her man. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. There's something deeper going on that I do feel like a conversation needs to be had out. And honestly, I am sick and tired. And then another thing is, what the hell did you tell Jasmine? Because I understand what Chrissy is saying. Like when somebody says, well, girl, you better be quiet. If I were you, I'd be quiet. that does kind of give like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got see on you. But if I know that there's nothing detrimental this person can say about me, then I'm gonna be like, girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But for Chris to go so hard, like, Jasmine, if you expose me, I'm going to then turn around and expose you. So you better. It's like, well, Jasmine, what the hell did Chrissy got on? I mean, Chrissy, what the hell did Jasmine got on you? What the hell happened? Just come out and say it at this point. All right. She said, I'll lay out a watch replay. Yeah, girl. We talk about the mummies. We will talk about the mummies today. Good evening, Gilda. Good evening. So there's a lot of hurt on both sides. Yes, it's a lot of hurt. And like I said, I wish both women would just come out and admit they were hurt and really thoroughly, clear the air and get it over with and put it to bed. Because all that's going to happen is the supporters are going to continue to amp it up and amp it up and amp it up. And we cannot keep playing this villain saint role. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if these women are truly evolving and if they are truly on their grown woman shit, and if they are truly, if they got other things going on and they don't have time for the drama and the pettiness, then they would not be taking the time to be shaded towards each other. You know what I'm saying? So they both need to come out and just admit that, you girl, I was riding for you. You was my friend. And you hurt me and I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Just say that and just be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? Chris need to, you know what I'm saying? Jasmine just need to come on out and just, because I mean, she's harboring some hurt. You know what I'm saying? And Chris need to come on out and be honest and don't use the I didn't like her man narrative, because I feel like that's just the narrative that the people gave you and you ran with it. There was something else that Jasmine had to do, because it cannot be her man. I'm sorry, it just cannot be that. I feel like maybe her getting this no good man was the last straw, and her just being so, I mean, as people say, being done for this no good man probably was just the straw that broke the camel's back. But it was more than just her man that ended y'all friendship. Let's just call a spade, and we all can be a little bit more real here, okay? For real, for real. But that is all that I have to say about the situation. Like I said, in this situation, I feel like people need to give Jazzy some slack, okay? Because she has the right to defend herself. I mean, at the end of the day, people talk about her day in and day out. They talk about her kids day in and day out. And now someone who she had a friendship with, who she still probably misses, who she's still probably hurt by, is now joining in on the petty conversation. And that's hurtful. Everybody was like, damn, it's already bad enough that these strangers are going in on me, and now you want to be a part of the conversation too? Like, damn. I agree with you now about the supporters, because if they talk behind the scenes, it could be resolved, or both ladies would agree to completely separate and stop talking about each other. Exactly. Because y'all can't keep throwing these subliminal digs at each other. Like, just talk behind the scenes and truly squash it like grown women and be honest and transparent, because, somebody's not being honest and transparent about how they feel. And I feel like it's Chrissy to a certain extent. And I feel like Jasmine can also be more transparent, but I feel like the door has to be open for her to be transparent with Chrissy. And Chrissy kind of has closed the door on her in her face, slammed it, because I'm not buying the Jasmine man broke our friendship up. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. And Jasmine, it's best that you put your big girl panties on and you confront the situation head on as well. And say what you have to say and say it with your chest. And I would also like to see Jasmine as well just speak up for yourself, take accountability, move on, and don't overshare things with people, because these people are really picking apart every single aspect of your life and really going in on you, girl, about every single thing, and it's painful to watch. And I feel like I think that is probably what made the relationship hard for Chrissy to continue, is because she was moving in one direction and she was moving into the, listen, I'm above this. I'm not about to continue to be the pitiful mom on the internet. That's not my thing. I'm not about to get on here throwing pity parties, crying. I'm about to boss up on these folks. I think that Chrissy was moving in that direction, and Jasmine kind of is still in that, woe is me, this is what's going on in my life mode on her channel. And so it can get kind of depressing sometimes. And I feel like instead of, Christy kind of motivate, them working together, kind of trying to find a strategic way to kind of to kind of motivate each other to get about that. I think that Chris was like, girl, I ain't got time for your mess. Boom. I got my own problems. Bye. You know what I'm saying? It kind of left Jasmine in the wind. And then that's what I think happened. It says both ladies are pretty. I actually like all moms. Me too. I mean, I like all the moms. Like I said, I feel like Jasmine has some opportunity. To kind. I think that she can kind of take a few notes out of Chris's book a little bit and just kind of keep some of her personal life under wraps. Because honestly, I mean, clear as day. I mean, I don't care what Chrissy says. There had to be some extreme character flaws with Rod, and people speculated that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Frederick. But yeah, and people speculated that for a while. And while it's her life and she does not have to share anything that she doesn't want to, she obviously had to have some chaos going on behind the scenes. She just was the master at disguising her chaos and keeping Rod off that camera. You know what I'm saying? And pulling back from social media when there was chaos going on. And I think that, Jasmine, if she can learn to do that, she'll be okay too. And she will still will learn. Like you said, guys, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Like you said, guys, I think Jasmine is trying. It says Jazz is really trying. She still has some work to do. Right. I think she still has some work to do, but I think that she's moving in the right direction. I mean, we saw her moving to a nicer place. This nicer place is well kept. She's doing a good job with her kids. She's doing the best that she can. She just can't be you know what I'm saying, like, have a backbone and boss up on these folks, you know what I'm saying, and get these like people used to tell me when I was little, because I was like the little cousin that I was quiet growing up, right? So a lot of my big cousins used to like walk over me sometimes. And my auntie Tammy, well, she my cousin, but I call her Auntie Tammy. My auntie Tammy used to always say, "Get them up off you, get them up off you." You know what I'm saying? And so that's the advice that I would give to Jasmine: get these folks up off you. You know what I'm saying? Boss up on these folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to come on here and over explain things and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And do it, I don't want to say do what Chrissy did, but I will say just be strategic about what you let people in on and what you don't let people in on. And at the end of the day, it's okay to let people know they got you fucked up and don't apologize for that. If you go off on somebody because they got you fucked up, go off on them and own it. Look, she had me fucked up and I went off on her for that. Don't apologize for how you feel, because in this situation, enough is a damn enough, and that girl is not wrong for defending herself. Period. And anybody trying to shame her because she's defending herself, you dead ass wrong, because if that was you and you and your homegirl fell out and she was over there with the ops, keying, you'll feel some type of way too. Period. Period. Point blank. If you and your homegirl fell out and she gonna hang with the girls that jumped on you and flash your tires, you would feel some type of way. You would think that she was a fake asshole. Okay, so it's just it's the same concept. It's the same concept. Jazz has a right to feel away in this isolated situation. Is Jasmine perfect? No, she's not. Do I still like Chrissy? Yes, I do. Do I still think that Chrissy does a better job of bouncing back and taking accountability for her decision? Yes, Chrissy has admitted her faults and she's righting her wrong. So it's still shout out to Chrissy. However, Jasmine still does not deserve the type of scrutiny that she gets. Good evening, LC girl. Yes, first baby mama says people definitely make it worse. They definitely do. They over amp everything. Because in this situation, it was as simple as, it didn't have to be this much. Because I feel like Chrissy was pressured to come live because she knew that people was like, Chrissy, you gonna let her talk to you like that, Chrissy? You gonna let her say that to you? Because in this situation, Chrissy, you shouldn't have said shit. I mean, you would have just left it for what it was. Because now you don't kind of put it out there that she got some dirt on you, and now people gonna want to know. You know. Godney says to me, Jazz has a soft heart. She definitely has a soft heart. You know what I'm saying? And I was that way when I was younger. It's not that you're scary, because when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know, when it's time to go there, baby, it's gonna go there. But it's the fact that you don't want it to go there, because when you care for someone, you don't want to argue, you don't want to fuss, you don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, I didn't want to fuss and fight with my cousins. They were my cousins. I love them. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of me just trying to, not even take it there, because when it go there, it go there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I get where Jasmine's softness come from, but if you're gonna do this social media thing, you're gonna have to toughen up, because these people will take advantage of your weakness. It says, yes, that girl definitely went to Ming and told all of Jazz business. She did, and people conveniently forget that. People like to overlook a lot of the things that Chrissy did that was slightly shady as well in that friendship. It was not all Jasmine's fault. She did a lot of shady things. OC girl says, I am pissed. I didn't receive a notification that you allow you. Yeah, you two be tripping, honey. You two be tripping, child. Jesus. OC girl says the soft spoken will get in the ass. Yeah, like that's how it is. Like me, like I'm from 0 to 100. Like, I'm not gonna be the first person to always pop off. I'm not gonna be the first person to always go there. But when it go there, oh, it's gonna go there. There ain't no stopping me. That's why I don't go there, because it's kind of like it's for me, it's no in between. I don't know. And that's why I tell people all the time. That's why I don't do the whole social media arguing thing, because I don't know how to throw shade and shit. I just know how to really go all the way there. I'm gonna really say some things that gonna hurt your feelings, or we're gonna really take it all the way to the dirt. We ain't finna, we not finna. I don't do the whole nice nasty thing. I'm either nice or nasty. It's no in between. And so I understand people like Jasmine. It's kind of like, she went from one extreme to the next. I guess I think that people are taken aback, because it's like, well, damn, Jasmine, you ain't been saying that. But it's kind of like when you have someone who's a soft spoken person, that's how it is. Like, they're gonna be quiet, they're gonna be timid until they're not. And when they're not, they're just not, and you have to respect that, because everybody got a breaking point. Yes, Jazz has a kind heart until you got her effed up. All right. Me too, girl. OC girl says me too. Not straight to street, right? Like, it's either I'm gonna just let it go, and it's not gonna be nothing, or it's gonna be something. And when it's something, it's not gonna stop. So it's better for it to be nothing. And I tell people that all the time. It's like, if you're easily triggered and easily angered, then that means that people have a lot of mind control over you, and it's not easy for somebody to control my mind. So with that being said, I'm for the most part very soft spoken, but if you want to take it there, it can definitely go there. And it can go all the way till I'm saying, it can go all the way up. It ain't no in between. It's either we going up or we ain't. And I mean, and I feel like, with Jasmine, it's this was her breaking point, because, it's one thing for people you don't give a damn about to talk shit about you, but damn, girl, I loved you. You were a sister to me. We were cool. You know what I'm saying? And I miss that friendship, and you're gonna keep going over here entertaining these folks who just talk about me and you. These folks had me and you messed up together. Me and you was in together crying about what these people saying. And you're gonna go over in they chat and you're gonna support them, and they talk about me, and they talk about my kids. I feel where Jazz is coming from wholeheartedly. Period. 0 to 100. No, exactly. 0 to 100. No in between. Exactly. Are you all right, girl? But yeah. So people act like Jasmine is crazy for feeling away. Hell yes, I would feel away. If because this is the thing. If we're gonna be grown, let's be grown. If we're gonna evolve, let's evolve. Chrissy, you can't say that you evolving. You can't say that you above the bullshit. You can't say that you a grown woman with 9 kids and you ain't got time if you taking time out your day to deliberately support a channel that you know damn well finna drag the hell out of Jazzy. And yeah, you can say, well, this channel gave you my flowers, and this channel was one of the only reaction channels to do that. Okay, cool. But oh, my baby calling me, y'all. Here we get off here. But my bad, y'all. But yeah, it's okay to be like, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, what did my baby want? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here and see what my baby want. But long story short, Chrissy was wrong. Jazzy is not tripping in this situation. Chrissy just need to come on out and say, look, I was being petty because I feel I'm still hurt by our friendship ending. And that's it. And that's all. But I love y'all. I got to get out of here and see what my little girl wants. So I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Love y'all. Good night.